Since the launch of the Creta in 2015, Hyundai India has been a major player in the Indian SUV market. In fact, they're one of the leaders today. The Creta is the segment bestseller, so is the Tucson, and the Venue also sells very strongly. Now the Venue is already under 4 meters, so you would think, is there a need for a smaller SUV? Well, with the success of the Tata Punch, Hyundai has realized, yes, there is a segment that can be made there, and they're making that inway into that segment with the Exter. The Exter, well, it's an interesting design. It comes loaded with features. It's priced fantastically well. But does it have enough to rival the Punch or outdo the Punch in the market? Well, we're driving it today in Jaipur, and we're going to tell you all about the Exter, its features, its driving appeal, and whether it's enough for your money to outdo the Punch, and does it deserve your attention. So stay tuned for more details. When it comes to the exterior design of the Exter, I would have to say it's an interesting mix of design cues that we've seen in existing SUVs like the Creta and the Venue, and some more international design language of Hyundai that's evolving very quickly. So like the Venue, at the front we get the headlamps positioned into the bumper. We get these H style daytime running lamps, which are a new addition. You get an interesting grille that doesn't look like a grille. You get exterior badging on the front, which is new, and I wouldn't say that the Exters are very pretty looking car, but I would say that it has a lot of road presence. When you move on to the side, it's got 15-inch alloy wheels, you get smart auto badging, you get this plastic cladding that tells you that it's an SUV. You also get slightly bulged out wheel arches, which is a nice touch. I think that adds a little more weight to when you view the car in profile. The black roof, of course, is an interesting design touch. You also get this 3D pattern here that's very similar to the 3D pattern that you get on the dashboard. You also have the same 3D pattern at the back of the tailgate. Again, H badging on the tail lights. And overall, I would say that the Exter might not be pretty, but it has a lot of road presence, and I think it's going to stand out very well, and I think it's a design that people are going to like. It's not a design that's going to polarize you, and I think while it is quite small, I would have to say the designers have done a good job, and it looks bigger than what the size actually is. Now we've discussed what exact segment and product the Exter is targeting. We've discussed the exterior design. The interior design, well, I have to say, if you're familiar with Hyundais in general, you'll feel right at home inside the Exter. You get a dash that's very similar to one in the Nios. You get some nice 3D pattern here. You get an 8-inch color touchscreen with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Interestingly, you get a full digital cluster, so there are no analog gauges in this one. Everything is digital. You get climate control, you get wireless charging. More importantly, for a lot of people, you also get 6 airbags as standard across the range on the Exter. So any Exter you buy will have 6 airbags. In the presentation yesterday, Hyundai officials also really emphasized about the safety aspect, about the crash testing, and I think they're not admitting it right now, but I think they are getting the Exter tested, and they expect it to get a 5-star rating in the crash test, which is good news, because as cars get safer, it's better news for us as drivers, us as customers in India, because road safety is a very important aspect that is often overlooked. The rest of the interior, well, I have to say, in the 2450mm wheelbase, the packaging by Hyundai is absolutely fantastic. The front seats feel really nice, they're very comfortable. The padding feels just perfect, and they're a good place to spend time in. I've been sitting in the car now for over 4 hours, and I feel really, really good despite my bad back. When it comes to space in the rear seat, I'm really surprised. The backrest of the seat is at quite an angle, which makes for a comfortable space to sit, and me at 5'9" can fit in very easily with the driver's seat set for myself. So if you're 6 foot or slightly above, you will have no problems fitting into the rear seat of the Exter. There is also a huge amount of headroom. The roof has been designed in a way that it has extra headroom for the rear seat passengers, and I think that packaging is simply fantastic because when you look at the boot, it's quite a deep boot and you can fit in quite a bit of luggage. So overall, I think for packaging, Hyundai's engineers deserve a full 5 stars. They've done a great job. Yes, it's not for 5 passengers, 4 passengers and a child, yes, but 4 6-foot adults will sit very, very comfortably inside the Exter. So that's about the interior design, the standard features. Also, on safety, other than the 6 airbags, depending on the trim you buy, you get ABS, you get traction control. It's fully equipped and it's a very impressive package when it comes to standard features, when it comes to safety, and I think at the price that they're offering the Exter, they've done an extremely good job with it. Now coming to the powertrain, the Exter will only be offered with a single engine. The 1.2 that we are familiar with, it's sold on the Grand i10 Neos, it's on other cars of Hyundai. It's available with a 5-speed manual and a 5-speed AMT. We are driving the AMT today. It will also come with factory-fitted CNG option. It will also come with the engine's already E20 compliant. So, if you're expecting a diesel, well, small car diesels are done, so that's not going to happen. This is either a petrol or a CNG option. How does it drive? Well, at 83 bhp, I thought maybe the Exter might feel a little underpowered, but I have to say the engine works really well. It feels absolutely perfect for the car. It revs very nicely, and maintaining between 80 and 100, 110, 120 is super easy. You can do it all day long. It's very refined. Of course, it gets a little coarse if you're above 5,000 RPM, but you don't need to go that high. Power delivery between 2 and 4,500 is really, really good. It's got ample torque, and you can just pottle around in it. Most people will use the Exter for urban driving, and I think it's a really good combination. The AMT, though, I think is lacking a little bit. Like all AMTs, it's slightly on the slower side. It's one of the better units in the AMT universe, but it's not as good as a torque converter or a dual clutch gearboxes. Interestingly, on the AMT model, you get paddle shifters. I think that's a great addition because the best way to drive AMTs, according to me, is to put it in manual mode and then use the paddles to shift the gears as you would do on other automatic gearboxes. I think that makes the AMT much more responsive and your drive can be much more smoother. The manual we've driven a little bit is a regular Hyundai manual, no complaints there. Coming to the suspension and ride comfort, the Exter is set slightly on the stiffer side, but I think it's got a really good balance between ride quality, high speed stability, and I think the engineers overall, whether it's packaging, whether it's the driving, whether it's the suspension, they've done a really good job with the Exter. Value, of course, you've seen the prices. I think it's terrific value considering the safety equipment and other equipment you get. Shortcomings: one, the AMT, not as nice, but I mean, it's one of the better AMTs, but it could be slightly faster. So that's one thing. I think that's negated a little bit by the paddle shifters, but it's not perfect. Second, I think there's a little too much road noise seeping into the cabin, and that could be improved. Maybe a better set of tires will help in that front. But other than that, given the space, given the packaging, given the value it offers, the way it drives, I think the Exter's a phenomenally good package at this price. For under 10 lakhs, slightly over 10 for the top end model. For under 10 lakhs, you get a package that's phenomenally competent. And I think it offers great value. So if you're looking for an urban runabout which can carry 4 people, lots of luggage, can also be fuel efficient, quite nice to drive and safe, I think the Exter ticks all boxes. And if you're looking for a car under 10 lakhs, this should be in your top 3 and you should definitely be considering.